Uh, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to have us tonight. Yeah, I want to also send a big apology. I want to send a big apology for what happened last weekend. No, a few days ago, not last weekend. It's still the same weekend. So a few days ago. Yeah, I was having a broadcast. No, I went through a long broadcast a few days ago, and only to discover that every single thing that was said was never was never voiced out, which means the volume was really bad. It was a very bad volume. So that was not good. It was not good. Yeah, that was not good. Yeah, so I couldn't. I just couldn't believe that I spent 47 minutes on broadcast only to find out that nothing that I anticipated. That's nothing that I said was voiced out. I thought about it. I was like, wow, this was big. It was really a mess. So I think what I did was actually I went to the uh, the online stuff. So I did some adjustments, which happened to be not good for me, you know. But I didn't know that those adjustments was going to affect the audio. So I should have done a test of the audio before going into it, but I didn't. I did not know. I did not know at all. So I spent almost 47 minutes talking and talking and talking without anything that I said being that's the voice never recorded, but the video was there. So when I went back online and checked the video, I was like, what happened? I said, where's the voice? But the video was excellent, but the voice was not there. So it's kind of devastating when you go through 47 minutes of broadcast with no audio. But unfortunately, I'm still new in the game, so nobody was out there chatting with me that could have told me, "Hey, we are not getting any voice from you." So I'm going to post out right now. So I'm going to send a post right now that says, "Can you guys hear me?" And if anyone is live, please let me know. So I'm going to say, "Can you hear me?" Is my voice audible? Audible. Is my voice audible? Yeah, those are questions I want to ask. Can you hear me? Is my voice audible? So, if anybody's out there, let me know if my voice is audible, like if you can hear me, so that way I don't end up spending 45 minutes and or 40 something minutes only to find out that, oh shoot, that my voice is not audible. So if anyone can shoot me a reply and let me know if my voice is audible, so that way I can know. But other than that, I hope everybody's doing wonderful tonight. If you're not online, just watch the video later on. You're gonna learn a lot. Like I've always said this. In the past few weeks, or going to 1 month since I've been releasing this broadcast. I've also let us know that I really will appreciate it a lot if we can share this video online. That's if we can share it online, I would really appreciate it a lot. Tell your friends about it. Get people to subscribe to my channel. It's good to watch it, but I'm still brand new. Tell people about me. If you like what I'm saying, give me thumb up. Thumb up. If you don't like it, give me thumb down. That's fine. I'm not worried about it. It tells me that people are responding, that people are paying attention to what I'm saying, and people are actually watching the video. I know that sometimes people like, most of us like short clip, but this is not for entertainment. Entertainment is where you get short clip of video for 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 8 minutes. That's purely for entertainment. You see, people love to be entertained, but for a short while. But just imagine you go to a classroom, and you get into a classroom, and your professor walks into the classroom, and then 10 minutes later, I say class is over. You're going to be pissed. Number one, you're going to be pissed because you dare to learn, not dare to be entertained. Number two, you are putting your money because you want to acquire knowledge. But right now I'm doing this for free. I'm giving you free knowledge. So I think that sometimes when free knowledge, when you don't put monetary to something, people don't value it. When they don't value it, they'll just come and go. But once you put a monetary value to something, everybody pay attention. Now they see it as knowledge. So I think that's what I might end up doing. I'm going to end up putting monetary value to it, so that way people will start tuning into the channel, start paying attention to what it says, start learning how to develop themselves. Because why I am saying this is this: we go to university. Okay, as a little kid, we're born. By the age of 4, by the age of 3, or in some houses 2, depending on the working parent or parents, we are sent off to kindergarten at the age of 2. Pre-K, I'm sorry. Daycare. Let's say daycare. We send out to daycare at the age of 1, because parents are back to what do they call it? About to work. So due to that, these parents are back to work. What happens is that we start learning how to associate with other kids. And then by the time we grow to the age of 2 or 3, now we join pre-K, and then pre-K to kindergarten to elementary 1, So it goes on from there. But the reason why things are taken serious like that is because our parents want the best for us. Our parents want the best for us. They put their money into our upbringing. But the thing is this: most of our parents, 80% of them are working adults in the United States, possibly around the world. I think it's the same percentage, or in some countries with high unemployment is low. But one thing that we are not taught in all these years is how to make things for ourselves. But we are taught by school, which our parents paid for, just to be a civil servant, be a worker, be somebody that is going to gain employment, not to create employment. So our parents spend all this money trying to make these things happen. And we as young adults, when we grow up, we follow the footsteps that they lay for us. And the footsteps that our parents lay for us is to be workers. But now somebody like me, after graduating from university and getting into the university field, but then divided into, doing my own business. And I've worked so long in this country before I got out of university. So by the time I got out of university, I was exhausted, totally exhausted working for somebody. I was done. I was done working for people. I was done. In fact, it sucked the energy off of me. So in the time that I was supposed to be working for some engineering company out there, being the best engineering worker that I was supposed to be, I spent most of those time in retail and some mini retails and big retail companies, doing so many things, coaching and being coached. Those years sucked. I would say 13 years of my life in America then sucked everything out of me. Being talked down, being talked to, disrespected, ideas being neglected, being shut down, I was done. I would say by my 14, by my senior year in the university, I was done before the senior year. But I grudgingly graduated because I needed that certificate. I didn't want all that money to go to waste. The money for tuition and the money for college, and that's to stay out of work sometimes, and it's never enough money. You come out of university in this country, you're dead, debted. Dead, debted. You soak in debt. But our parents thought the best for us. There are people that have foresight. Not everybody have that luxury because number one, you don't have the luxury of coming to America at a very young age, not knowing where the next meal is coming, trying to get yourself to make a living. You know what I mean? Try to get yourself to make a living, but in order to make this living, you need accommodation. And then to be in school, you need accommodation. But when you don't have accommodation, or you try to quit your job to concentrate in school, what it does is that it sucks this time out of you, distract you from school, because if you don't have an income, financially it's never enough. If you don't have an income, you don't have a shelter, you don't have somebody paying your bill, helping you to square some of the bill, you basically like paying almost all the bill by yourself, or paying most of the bill, or paying all the bill by yourself, you are toast. You are toast in the sense that you can't even concentrate in passing some of your classes. But like I said, our parents mean well, or they meant well. They were giving us what was told to that lesson in order to assure us of the future. So you can't blame your parents for life, for giving you less like. But if our parents put us is going when or help require minimum pay education, but sometimes what we call generational wealth. We can graduate or go to school, but discover our talent and take that talent and run into the world to create what the world doesn't have, to be the next big thing. There are a couple of men and women that did this, but I will use certain men that I know out of heart. And these men, while in college, discovered something. But instead of them going to college to spend all these years getting into all these debts, do you know what these men did? They left college actually. Some of them were talked to by their parents saying that they did. In fact, if some parents would have denied these kids or disowned them, but they went to their parents' garages and they changed the world. At a very, very young age, some in their teens, some in their 20s, they changed the world. Don't get it wrong. Parents didn't do any mistake in this regard. They worked with what they had. But now I am telling you how to get it right. And when I'm telling you how to get it right, it kind of displeases me that some of us will watch few video of it, watch maybe the beginning up until the middle, and just move on with life. But there are vital informations in those clips. Even when you don't finish it all, share it share it on your Facebook, share it on your WhatsApp, share it on your YouTube. Send it to somebody out there that might be interested or that will be interested to watch it and share with their own friends. And let these videos go viral, because there are vital informations, not all of them, not all the information inside that you have to use, but there are vital informations inside it that you can use to change your life or change somebody's life. So that brings me into the program, Contemplating about starting a new business. That's the title of this program, Contemplating about starting a new business. So the phrase or the sentence contemplating about starting a new business is a question. It's actually a question. Contemplating starting a new business. So what I'm trying to say is this. When you go to your 9-to-5 jobs and you come home, you are exhausted in so many regards. Exhausted because you have to wake up very early to go to work. Exhausted because you don't have control over your schedule. Exhausted because you believe within yourself that you're putting so much hours and being paid so little. Exhausted because when you ask for a raise, somebody's telling you, oh, we can't give you a raise now, we have to wait until budgeting. Exhausted because you're not being respected by your fellow employees, that's your colleagues at work. Exhausted because certain things that you want to do, you have to wait until the next pay date. Exhausted because there are things that you could have done. There are ideas that you have that you could have laid out, but somebody's shutting it down. Some people shut it down because maybe they don't like it. Some people shut it down because they think, oh, if I let him bring up this idea, it might be the next boss. Somebody shut it down because they don't really like the color of your skin, which is real. Some people shut it down because, you know what, it might be a woman. Somebody shut it down because you, this guy, who do you think you are? So there are reasons why people will shut down your idea, and that frustrates you a lot. But that frustration should be a reason why you take decisions that you regret. But you can actually channel that frustration into something else, away from your employer. You can channel that frustration into something else. That is why I said contemplating starting a business. Because when you contemplate to start a business, a lot is weighed on you. The pressure to start, the pressure not to start, the pressure that you might start this and then start losing things because, you know what, you might not have all it takes. The pressure of dipping into your savings to start this business. And what about if it busts? Where do you go from here? The pressure of taking risk and the fear of failing when that risk is taken. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So we are in the situation whereby we do not want to take risk because of the fear of taking that risk. So those are things we encounter when we contemplate to do business. You see, doing business is not something you sit down and you wake up and say, oh, I'm going to start doing business today. Oh, I heard that this guy did this business and he succeeded. That is absolutely the wrong way to go about starting a business. Do not start a business because somebody succeeded in doing that business. It's very wrong. Do not start a business because you think somebody becomes something out of it. It's very, very wrong. Before that person started their business, you never get to sit down with that person and ask them questions for them to give you the truthful answer. Nobody that is a successful person in business today woke up one day and said, I'm starting a business, and then tomorrow they become successful. It does not happen. This is not Disney World. Business is not a Disney World. Business is where things are done with logic and not with feelings. Things are done from the gut. So when you contemplate starting business, or you think somebody has succeeded in that business, what you got to have to do, read about that person, ask questions about that person. You'll be surprised that so many people that before they launch a business, before they start a business, must have 2, 3, 4, 5 years experience in that field. They don't just walk into starting a business just because they want to start a business and then become successful by learning on the job. No. They knew what they were walking into. They've laid the blueprint. They've thought about it over years. They have given answer to every single question that they wrote down. There was answers to every single questions that they wrote down. They spent years answering these questions, not verbally only, but with actions and putting things together, trials and error, making sure that they have answers, and before they then went out and put their money at risk. And when the business started, they followed every single plan that was laid, made adjustment where adjustment was supposed to be made relevant adjustments, took steps, reshaped plans, redraw plans, and guess what? Jackpot. Their risk become reward. Why? Is because they took that time. They took that time. They took that risk. But they asked so many questions and provided answer to it before launching that business. So what I'm saying is this: do not start, when you contemplate to start a business, don't start a business in a whim. Business is not something you start in a whim. It's something that you actually investigate, ask questions, and then go for it. Do not hesitate. That's another thing. Do not hesitate to launch it. You don't have to find answer to every single questions that you lay down. No, don't do that. Some of those answers will take years to come. Once you know you've gotten the satisfactory answer, which is anywhere between 45, I would say 40% to 55, then launch. Launch your business. Launch that business. Go with it. Shoot for it right away without hesitation. So, then contemplating starting a new business. You can't just launch a business by taking small amount of money. Some businesses don't require huge amount of money. But sometimes in life, but sometimes in life, if you want to start a business, some people will start a business this way. They require a high level of capital to start it because of their level of experience. Some people have a very minimum experience. So the minimum experience you have, I would say the more capital that is required to start a business. Because what happens is that when you have less experience in business, you need to hire experts or people that have been in that business for a long time. And those people that have been in that business, they know what they're going to do. They know the language of that business. But they will charge you, meaning that you have to pay them salaries. And in some cases, you need to hire 3 or 4 people. And also depend on the size of the business. You need to hire 3 or 4 people. And those 3 or 4 people, in some cases, $300,000 annually, right there, out of your pocket. And for you to achieve such a thing, you might require a bank loan to be able to achieve such feats, because salary is different from actual capital. Capital is what the money, the investment funds needed to start a business, but salary for people without that are not experts, or maybe without any expertise in something that they want to embark on, will have to be funded out of their pocket. Because in some cases, you might not be able to get the capital funds that you need to start a business in order to be able to pay all these people and also fund your business at the same time. So some of the money might have to come out of your pocket. Do you have it? That's a question. Then when you don't have funds like that to be able to embark on such high profile business funding, then you're going to need what is called investors or an investor. So, in aspect of starting a business, just like in my previous videos that I've said, you need to start getting into what we call investment of interest, which means you get people that like to take risk in investment, you approach them, and you discuss your investment portfolio, you discuss what areas of investment. But in a sort of business, every area requires investment, basically. And also, you're also going to ask questions about short-term loan or perpetual investor or investors, which is long-term loan. Excuse me. In short-term loan, like I said in the previous videos, you got to pay back no matter profit or loss. You need to pay the person back, because short-term borrowers don't care if you make money or not. They are not going to be part of that business, so you need to pay them back. So you always have to understand that when I have a short-term investor, based on the agreement, but most cases, short-term investors will ask for higher interest of the return on their investment. They will ask for higher interest because they're not interested in you succeeding or failing, because the reason why is because they are short-term. And not only are they not interested in you succeeding or failing, they usually will borrow money at a huge amount of money that require a quick repayment, and those repayments might be anywhere from months or a year, no more than 2 years. But this is what happens. People that usually go into this kind of loans are individuals that are very greedy, in the sense that their greed, both investor and invested, their greed comes from ego, especially from the business owner. Some of these business owners like to start their jobs alone. I'm going to go in depth as I discuss this. I'm going to concentrate mostly tonight on loan business owners. Then maybe probably by tomorrow, I'll go in depth into 2 business owners, and after that, probably by tomorrow I should wrap it up by going into why you shouldn't get into investment with more than certain amount of people in a single business. Even if the business is going to be a multi-billion-dollar business tomorrow, why you shouldn't exceed certain amount of individuals that will have a say in the business. But financial capital, I don't think there is a cap to that. As long as those people are not long-term investors in the business. So, let's concentrate on loan business owners for tonight. So, when I speak about short-term investors will usually borrow you money. And when they borrow you that money, they want you to pay them back as quick as possible. And those kind of business capitals usually come with high interest. Usually, these are not done by family members. They are usually done by men with very sizable amount of money. You know, they will loan you this money, and then they will get it back from you at the stipulated time. But the thing with people that have been invested in this kind of money, that's business or singular business owner, is this. Singular business owners usually don't like, they either lack social skills, they don't have social skills, they are more of social parts, so they don't like to be told what to do. They don't like to mingle with other people in terms of business. They hold to themselves, but tend to stay in one place. Is that they alone? They business. I hope my internet is not bad. I hope the internet is not bad. Okay, because I think I had some internet issue a few minutes ago. So, like I was saying, some of these people do have they are sociopaths. So they don't really mingle with folks that much. But they take very, very disturbing risk in the sense that they will go into business and believe that they can do this business alone. And this business is very, very relevant or prevalent across the country. They are business that you call mom and pop store. Or some cases, it's a family-owned business. You know, it's a family-owned business. So these businesses are sometimes owned by husband and wife. So there is no outside input. There is no challenge. There is no challenge from other guys, trying to prompt you or trying to give you ideas on how to move your business forward. The business typically becomes a clock in and a clock out business. One or two employees, one branch, and that's it. When the family moves, the business moves with them. So, because there is no social integration of any kind in this business, those businesses tend to linger in one place or linger within the family for a very long time. Sometimes they don't even ask for investments. There is no investor, and even when they get investors, the investors are usually investors with short term. So the money is paid back to the investor, even either profitable or non-profitable. So there is never a long-term investment that will push or expand such company because the company lacks ideas. You see? So that is why I, in particular, understanding the trend of business, understanding everything about business, I haven't done business myself, will tell you in every ramification that doing business alone is a very, very bad idea. I have a friend of mine last Thursday or Friday, Thursday or Wednesday. It was during the middle of the week. We were talking somewhere in downtown Dallas, so we were discussing about this new company that is coming on board, and then he was also telling me about another company that is coming on board. So we were both discussing, and then we were discussing the similarities, but by these two companies that are coming on board, big two companies that are coming on board. And then he said to me that he's in the process of trying to get somebody to, some group of his friends to invest with him. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And he said, oh, shoot, I don't really have experience in that business, but these guys, man, they have great experience in it. And then he hit me. I said, that's exactly the same thing I've been saying, because I was saying it based on experience. Whatever I tell you, I'm not telling you from from how I feel. No, I'm telling you from experiences that I already have. Experience that I already have, and experience that I have now. But these are things that I've encountered in my life. So I'm not giving any gibberish. So he said to me that he's going to discuss with these folks and they can get this going and make this business a successful business. And then we started discussing. We went on with our conversation, and I was telling him that this, you see, that's exactly what I've been telling people. That is what I've been preaching. You know, that's for those that go to church. That's what I've been preaching. So in my case, I would say that's what I've been laying out in my broadcast channel here on YouTube and Facebook. That individuals have to get other individuals to work with them. You don't go it alone. You do not go it alone. When United States go to war, United States doesn't say we are going to war to fight a country. United States build coalitions of interest, coalitions of war. Like if you look at the current war playing between Putin and Ukraine, the problem that the Russians are having is that they went to war alone. They didn't build coalitions. So if you want to go anywhere to defeat and conquer, you have to build coalition. Be it in any kind of thing that you can lay out in life, affair, business, friendship, trust, or whatever. You don't go alone. You suck. You're going to suck at it. You got to build coalitions. Coalitions in the sense that you have you need one or two ideas that will back up the ideas that you have. You need one or two people to critique you on steps that you're going to take. You need people to tell you, okay, come back, slow it down. Because whatever decisions you take and you don't run it with somebody else or discuss it with people around you, trusted friends that will give you trusted business advice, you are putting yourself at risk, at a very big risk, financial big risk, time wasted. So, this guy that I'm talking about has had business for more than 8 years. That's to the best of my knowledge. So I said to him, knowing what you know now, the business that you have today, would you have done it alone? He's like, no. No whatsoever. I said, why? He said, I couldn't grow past where I was. The same money I was making almost the very first time I started the business is the same amount of money I'm making today. I haven't really gone past that level. And I, as a businessman that own a particular, one of my companies, right, one of my business that I own, I haven't even gone. When I look at the revenue in that business, all I see is ups and downs because there are no investors in that business. It's a business that I typically do alone. So I can tell you based on experience. But when I look at business that I start with other people, I can see the progress. The progress is so huge. The financial capital investment put into it is huge. It's double, it's 3 times, it's 4 times. So, yes, there are big disagreements, small disagreements, but that is something that is left for tomorrow discussion on the pros and cons of doing business with other people. But I got to tell you, doing business with 2 or more people is far much better than going it alone. It's far much better. It's far much better. Far much better, you can't even believe it. Because people that will tell you that is people that have been in business for over 20 years doing business by themselves will tell you that if I can go back to time again, I wouldn't do it alone. But this not doing business alone, the blame or the regret of doing it alone can only be expressed by somebody that is truthful to themselves, or somebody that is not sociopath. You know, because I gotta tell you, when you're a sociopath, you don't give a damn, man. Because you have ego, you don't want to be told what to do, you don't want people to criticize you, and you just don't want anybody in your space. And to tell you this, there are a lot of people like that. But to say the other way, there are people that also don't, they just want to go to work and come home. They don't want to expand their business. They don't want their business to go beyond their vicinity. They want to live close to their business. They just want to go in. Like I see that, especially in some of our communities, being in Nigeria, I see that a lot here in the United States. There are some people, because I would tell you, when it comes to a country or people with the highest number of small business owners without no other investor or other partner in their business, the highest number of that is Nigerians, both in Nigeria and here. Most of us are either doing family business or loan business. Our businesses never expand. It never goes beyond one shop. It never goes beyond one location. And the reason why it's like that is because we are mostly small business owners, both back home in Nigeria and here. We are mostly small business owners. We are trained to be small business owners. We are told not to trust the other person. We are very argumentative. We don't like to be told what to do. We don't like to take the criticism and criticize back and move on and forget about it and move to the next level and make this business happen. We are mostly not wired like that. We are very egotistic people. We don't like to be told what to do. We can rather do it alone and fail than to do it together and succeed. It's a big shame, but it's in my community. We'd rather do it alone and fail than to do it together and succeed. And I don't know what is wrong about that. There is nothing wrong about doing it together to succeed than to do it alone and fail. So we will have business. Like I remember back home in Nigeria, you have somebody that has business, maybe he has business in Lagos. And then when he leaves, then he decides to go back to Onitsha. He takes all the business from Lagos to Onitsha. You load truck full of all your family dependents, and you move to a new city, and then you open up a shop in that new city with all your family dependents, and you start a whole new life. Instead of leaving that business in that location, in that city, and open a whole new business in another city, and then be able to make your business whereby it can be overseen in a certain way. Yes, you're taking a loss, but don't build a business that is just going to be one business in one location. But you can have 2, 3, 4 businesses in different locations. But then some of them back home in Nigeria will tell me, oh, I couldn't operate the other location because I was losing more money than was coming in. Because you're the loan investor. But when you have one more person investing in that company with you, guess what would have happened? Now you could have that person delegated to, and have that person run that location, or run 2 locations, or run 3 locations. You can as well travel to multiple locations in a week to oversee your business, because when employees know that you're coming to town, or don't know when you're going to be in town, but you're going to be in town this week, but they don't know when, everybody is in their right behavior. But I have actually sat down in Nigeria and have this discussion with people that flatly disagree with me. And I was like, are you kidding me? What are you doing in Abuja if you can own business in Lagos, in Kano, in Onitsha, in Abuja, and probably in Port Harcourt, in Enugu, And you can travel around the town within 2 weeks to visit all this location, have people to be there, probably get into a business with one or two people, and have them invest in your business and expand your business and share the risk and profit. Do you understand how much you could have, where you could have been by now? You could have been something far much more higher than where you are. But our people are not educated in that regard. And then they blame the government and security. Where there is insecurity, people still got to eat. People still got to buy something. The reason for insecurity is because nobody's creating a job. When you move a job from one place to another, now the people that are working in that location, you're firing all of them. They're all going to lose their jobs because you're moving this business out of here. That is what creates insecurity. Insecurity is as a result of one man doing one thing by one man's brain. But then the youths are coming out of university. There is no job created. So the created job against the youths versus the youths versus the youths graduating from the university is just very low. So when somebody has to move a business from one location to another, and then tomorrow you're crying insecurity. You're crying insecurity because you're also one of the reasons of the insecurity. A government doesn't create a job. Job is created by individuals. That is why I emphasize a lot that don't start a business as a one man. You need to create a business where people get employed, other people get employed, multiple people get employed. As a one man, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of capital. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of brain functionality. It takes a lot. It puts a lot of pressure on you. Just like at the beginning of this broadcast, I talked about pressure. It takes a lot of pressure for you to grow a business like that. You cannot grow your business as a one man. It can't happen. I don't think it can happen easily. All the experience that I have had, I've proven to me it doesn't happen easily. All the people that I have talked to have told me that they started their businesses alone and they never went past where they were 10 years ago. When you see people that are very wealthy today, you'll be surprised that their wealth didn't come by one business. They have multiple businesses. They created multiple businesses, and by creating multiple businesses, guess what they do? They invested with multiple people because they don't have the capital to be able to source multiple businesses at the same time. But by meeting other people, getting other investment idea, they were able to create multiple businesses because they spread around their capital. They spread around the money that they have at hand to put towards capital to finance one business or two. So that is what I'm trying to say. So I think I will be coming to a conclusion because it's almost time. But I do promise you that tomorrow or next, I'm going to go in depth again on not doing it alone. From there, I'm going to transition to two-man business. So tomorrow discussion will be, are you contemplating a business? But then I'm going to add something to that. Are you contemplating to start a business? Or contemplating to start a business? But something is coming in front of it. And I will tell you. Tomorrow we also expand your knowledge of why. Yes, it's your knowledge that you're going to acquire. So tomorrow broadcast will center on why you shouldn't do it alone. I have said some of it tonight, but tomorrow I'll go more in depth why you shouldn't do it alone. You shouldn't do it alone. You shouldn't go at it alone. You shouldn't embark on it alone. Do not do business alone. I'm telling you this, and I'm telling you because I know that it's not the best idea for anybody to go it alone. But I got to be honest with you. I like the kind of passion that I put into this conversation and into this broadcast tonight. And I believe that by tomorrow, I'm going to be able to, because I don't like to discuss business or talk about things without statistics and experience. You see, like I know what I've said before, that 80% of small business that started fail in 2 years of being started. That is starts. one man, a single person's own business finds it very difficult to survive in 10 years than a two or multiple people's business. That is stats. That's statistics. That also comes from my experience. So I'm telling you because I don't talk based on feelings or, oh, this, that. No. I talk based on facts and statistics. If you want to counter it, you're welcome to come on my show and tell me why what I said doesn't make any sense, and we can not debate it, but use statistics to prove one person wrong. I don't want to debate it. I want you to prove me wrong, but you got to come up with statistics and also your life experience. So it's my pleasure broadcasting tonight, and I really, really look forward to hearing and having you guys, share this script. And thank you guys, and I really appreciate you tuning in tonight. Thank you very much, guys. Good night.